What's the energy outlook as we go to the gas pump? It's not fun, but a lot of factors play into that. On our Allied Cooperative program this morning, Isaac Brown joins us, and Isaac is an energy specialist, certified energy specialist. And I know, Isaac, you keep a close eye on this oil flow, this oil price. What's going on? Because this is an international situation. It's not something we can control right here. What's happening around the world that way?
Basically, a lot of what we've been seeing is ongoing conflict with Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine has been striking some Russian refineries, which is giving them a bit of an issue when they're trying to supply China and India with, refined products. And we're seeing a little bit of a demand strain there where, the U.S. and some other nations are going to have to kind of pick up the slack. We're also seeing OPEC nations there, the Saudi Arabias of the world and all of those, are having a bit of an issue agreeing on what production should be. They're trying to cut production to boost prices, but really what we've seen is basically that crude oil has stayed right around that $79 to $85 a barrel, which is kind of reflected at the pumps. Probably what a lot of folks have seen is just kind of a plateau for gas, being between that 320, 350, and diesel being up around that high threes in most cases, some mid threes around there as well. We're seeing a little bit of that pressure, obviously, as we come into planting here, hopefully in the next couple of weeks for the majority of guys. We are probably going to see those prices go up a little bit more. They say there's a better chance that it goes up 25 cents than it goes down 25 cents. So if you're gearing up, probably a good time to reach out and get those tanks filled for diesel.
A lot of conversation is the fact that the United States is the leader or one of the leaders in oil production. Why are prices so high? What happens with the infrastructure in this country with our oil? Are we exporting too much, or what's the factor there?
What we see, with a capitalistic, free trade market, a lot of these companies, being private, are going to chase those premiums elsewhere, and if they don't see the demand here, which, has been a little bit softer leading up, to right now, that they're gonna export a lot of that. We've also seen some refinery outages. There was recently a 145,000 barrel per day facility down in Texas that had an outage due to kind of a concerning fire, but it was contained rather quickly. We do also see turnover this time of year where a lot of refineries do their post-winter inspections and maintenance, and they start switching over from their winter gasoline blends to their summer gasoline blends, which are going to be higher in benzenes. They keep the gas from vaporizing. So that's kind of where that 15-cent roll gap comes in every year, where you see the price at the pump, especially for gas, go up pretty quickly.
Hey, Isaac, also we're getting into, hopefully, the non-heating season as far as using that LP and through our furnaces. What about the refill here as we're into the middle of April? Is this a good time to do it, or maybe later on in the spring and early summer? What are you forecasting for there?
Yeah, so, really one of the biggest things we saw this year was, obviously, just like last week, we had some pretty warm patches. LP demand was down about 20 to 30% across the board, which great for the Wisconsin consumer, Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan, anybody there. We saw exports really tick up. Exports of LP were at the highest they've ever been this year, which has put some pressure on the market. So we saw a lot of people that contracted last fall are still in the money right now with those contracts, so they may want to get filled up before the end of April, because it does seem like we're going to have some LP export pressure on the market. So it is probably good to, if you still have some contractors, some prepay, use that, because we may not see LP come down quite as much as we have in the past. But yes, we will probably be coming out with a summer fill price around the end of May, mid-June, somewhere in there. It kind of depends on where our competitors all line up and what our position is for this upcoming season.
So keep your eye on fuel, whether you need it for the field or heating the house or whatever, LP, if we need it for drying grain in the fall. Isaac Brown has his eye on it every day. He's a certified energy specialist with Allied Cooperative. Isaac, have a good day.
Thank you much, Bob. You too.
Isaac Brown with Allied Cooperative. I'm Bob Bosold.